Hey guys, so in the previous episode we created a new GitHub repository and deployed it on a separate website on its own domain using GitHub pages for free. So here are the settings of the GitHub pages, and now instead of just having a one-page HTML website, we are going to use GitHub pages to turn this one-page website into a real blog. So here's again a wonderful example of using GitHub pages. Here's my blog with lots of blog posts with different static pages. You can navigate by tags. You can open a single blog post, see images, potentially embed videos. I think I have some videos embedded somewhere like here. So you can just own the whole website. Let's try adding Jekyll to our existing repository where we just currently have this index.html and a CNAME file. So I'm going to the Jekyll homepage. I'm going to run gem install bundle Jekyll, but first I checked out this repository locally. So I have running this repository locally here. If I go to the code, I see I have the CNAME and index.html file. So I will say gem install bundle Jekyll. Jekyll, my new awesome site, whatever. Now I ran this command inside my repository, so I don't want to like nest it even deeper. I'll just move everything out of the folder that I have just generated for it to be in the root folder, and I'm going to delete this my awesome site folder. And I can also delete this index.html file that I have previously created. So I replace everything in this repository except the CNAME. It stays with what I have generated with the Jekyll. Let's have a look in the git changes. So here we have the gem file where we have Jekyll gem, and we also have the gem minima. It is a front-end template for wrapping the styling of your blog. There is a Jekyll plugin. We'll come to the plugins later, but one plugin that is installed by default, and some other gems to just make the full thing work. When you run like Rails create new Rails application, you have a gem file with like maybe 20 gems installed. Here there are fewer gems, at least in the gem file. We have this index markdown, so it's kind of the home page, I assume, an about page that you can populate with what you want, and we have a posts folder, the most important folder where you're going to keep all your posts. So all my posts, each file for these is kept in the posts folder, and you see they're all in markdown. And a config file where you can set the defaults around your application, like the title of your app, for example. Anyway, we have generated this new app. Let's try run it on localhost. So going back to the Jekyll docs, I'm going to say bundle execute Jekyll serve. Let's just run bundle once again. And by default, it is going to serve on localhost 4000. So let's visit localhost 4000, and here we have our basic blog. Now we have the title that is again defined here in config. You see you can override the title. So today I learned blog by Yaro. We can update the title. It will not get updated straight away because whenever you change something in config, you need to restart the server to see the changes. So you see now I restart the server and I see the changes. I have an about page where you would usually put information about your services, about yourself, maybe your email address. Also, by default, there is an example link to a GitHub page, a Twitter page, your email. So let's make it more personal now. In the Twitter username, I would put my Twitter username, GitHub username, email, description. You can edit later, but I think it would be, yeah, here's the description. We see it on the bottom. Again, you can say like, again, a couple of words about yourself or why you are actually writing this blog. Let's try adding something in this index.markdown. Yes, you see, so this is kind of the layout file, and whatever you put here is going to be rendered above the list of your posts. And you see, we have this subscribe via RSS button. So I think it is provided by this Jekyll feed. I think it's the Jekyll RSS feed plugin. You see, we have this Jekyll feed plugin, and we have the theme set to be minima from the gem minima. Okay, so we have the basic installation of Jekyll, and we have a blog running. Let's save our changes. I'll just not be committing this small node that I just did. Create Jekyll blog. And I will push. And now I think whenever I push, it is going to trigger a new deployment. So here you see I just pushed to GitHub, and it triggered an action. So there's the action, page build and deployment. And we don't have a folder of like GitHub actions set in the application, but it still has this workflow because we have it in our settings, pages. Here we say build and deployment, deploy from a branch. We could manually have a GitHub actions deployment of YML file if we have our own setup, but if you don't have like anything non-standard, you can just have this deploy from a branch. Okay, so it should have deployed. Let's try refreshing our website. Boom, you see, you have the Jekyll blog running. Wonderful. Let's try adding a blog post. So in our posts, again, we have first of all the timestamp, name of the blog post as it is going to appear in the URL. So if I visit this blog post, here you see the timestamp, the URL. Let's create a new blog post. So here inside post, I'm just going to manually create a new file, 2024, 12, we can do it in the past, so 20, I want to blog. Or Jekyll versus WordPress. .md. Then I'm going to go to another blog post and I'm going to copy the header. So we need the layout post for all the posts. Should I use Jekyll or blog post for the title? Date. I don't think you actually have to set it if you have the date in the markup, but let's leave it. And categories, Jekyll and WordPress. Let's add some kind of text. Let's try adding an image. So for adding images, I think we would need to put them somewhere. Now we can create a folder for them. Let's see how I do it in another application. So here in this Jekyll blog, I have a folder for assets. Let's create a folder for assets. Inside, I will have images, or you can just have it directly in assets. Let's see how I do it here. Yeah, I have some folders, but I also have some images just in the root. Let's add the assets for posts. So just a folder for all the posts. And here I'm going to input some kind of image. It can be just a screenshot or whatever. I will put it here. Let's open this in Finder. I'll put it into the posts. Okay, so we have a screenshot inside our posts. Let's give it a better title. So a screenshot. Okay, and we want to display this screenshot in our app. So I'm going to copy the relative path. I will put it here, and let's just pause on this. So let's go to our blog. You see I refresh, and as the blog has been running, you see I have another post that has been added. it has been added with today's date, not with the date that I put here, because we have today's date in the date timestamp. Let's refresh. Okay, not found with this date, but if I refresh, here you see I have the date. What if we don't have the date set at all? It is still the 20th. Let's try changing to the 21st. Refreshing. Okay, so you see, if you don't explicitly set the date in the header, then it will inherit from the date in the title. And I think it's better to inherit from the date in the title. Okay, and now we'll go to the post and try to display the screenshot. So this is the path, and we would need to have exclamation mark. It's already markdown syntax. Whatever, like a screenshot. So it's the title, and here we'd have the path. Let's refresh. Okay, it doesn't work. Maybe we need to have slash. Okay, and you see we rendered an image. Let's try. Yeah, you see we still have the Jekyll and Jekyll RB in the titles here, so that's not very nice. Yeah, we can update this later, but the... Oh no, I think we don't need to update it later. I think we just needed to restart the server after making these changes. Let's try once again. I will restart the server. Okay, and all these have been updated. So we have created our first blog post of our own, not the one that was provided by the example, and we customized our website a tiny bit. Let's push our changes. So create a post. Okay, let's deploy. Again, we push, it triggers an action to deploy the website. And now when I refresh the page after the deployment is successful, I expect to see my new blog post and well, and the image inside it. Okay, deployment finished. Let's refresh. Here we have a new blog post, and the image has been rendered. Congratulations! So this is the basic of creating a blog with Jekyll, and in the next episode I plan to go a bit deeper into Markdown itself. I think you as a developer should know how to use Markdown, at least for adding readmes that are readable to your repositories, but really Markdown is going to be big in 2025, believe me.